Kennedy is having a meltdown again. Oh, poor guy. Honestly, it's not that bad and it could have been much worse. Good morning and welcome back to our post-apocalyptic Build a City challenge. It's almost hard to believe we are in episode 8 and are only on day 4 of the challenge. We've already seen so much of this world and the survivors have been through some ups and downs already, but we're still only scratching the surface of this challenge. We've had a bit of a journey in the last episode. In today's episode we'll make a quick jump back in time to see what happened at the settlement when the others were gone. We will also see how they did on their quarry trip that morning and we'll visit Eli. Oh, and there's a new romance waiting to happen, but I will not spoil who they are yet. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea and join our survivors in these post-apocalyptic times. So we are at the settlement right now. Brandy and John just had their romantic moment. It's almost noon and Christy and Sandy are taking a nap because when they are well rested they are going to work on the pottery and soap making. Kennedy is out back chopping down the trees and Marilena is chopping some emergency stone from here so we can start using the grinder. We are not going to use this stone too much, just every now and then for just a few pieces of stone. And the mining crew is still mining and will return between 4 or 6 in the evening. So, or in the afternoon, I should say. So, yeah, let's get started. I think John having his moment with Brandy has given him inspiration to draw the future house that he dreams of. So that is what he is going to do. And after that, we are going to let him finish studying his geodes to get the last few points of his logic skill. So he's really nearly there. Let's do it twice just to be sure. I think Brandy is cooking. Yeah. And we are now going to check the food supply. Oh, and Brandon and Comey are home. Let's see, 678. She can use the chamber pot and then just continue cooking, make many group meals, grandma's comfort soup. And she is going to do that until around 2 p.m. when she is going to meet Eli with Christy. So Comey and Brandon have returned. Comey is going straight for Didi's workbench to make some knife blocks and work on his mechanic skill. And Brandon is tired, so we can do either one of two things. We can send him to bed or we can give him the coffee. Since John is already using the drawing table, he's not going to be able to draw today anyway. But we might give him the coffee to help Kennedy out with chopping down the trees. So yeah, we are going to do that. Let's see, I think Kennedy had the coffee this time. They'll only have 4 cups left, so we might wake up Christy. Yeah, we are going to do that. We are going to wake her up. She's going to draw a bath, so they're going to use the bathtub for the first time. And then she is going to brew another batch of coffee to bring home, to bring to the scavenging trip that you've already seen in the last episode, but this is where we made the coffee. So yeah, Brandon can drink his coffee. And you can see that this really does a lot to the energy bar. It fills it up quite a bit and very fast. So it's really quite powerful, but I like having it because it also uses a lot of resources. So it really doesn't feel OP because they do have to sort of work for it. They don't just get this for free. Yeah, let's move the trees again because they are dropping into the house. That always seems to happen because I placed them the wrong way. But it doesn't really matter. We can fix it. So he can buck this felled tree and we'll have some extra logs. That is also going to work on his body skill. Ah, good. Christy is awake. she should be able to fetch more buckets of water. So everyone is quite busy working on the things that they are responsible for again. So she is collecting water. She might as well get an extra one right from here. And then she's going to fill the tub and brew the coffee. So I hope she has enough for both. Let's see how much water she has. 10 buckets. Yeah, we need 3 for the bathtub and 5 for the coffee. So that's good. Brandy is still cooking. And we have 45 minutes left before they are going on their hike. So that should be enough. And Brandy can take a nap after the hike. She doesn't have to do that right now. Let's see how Kennedy is doing. He is doing quite well. He is getting tired though. Yeah. Thanks for the illustration, Kennedy. So we might send him to bed for a quick nap between the trees. Or another thing, we can always just give him the coffee. Since it's during the day, I would prefer to give him the coffee, I think. So let's do that. We also want him to gain his body skills. He also wants to become fit. I'm not sure if this is doing something with his fitness. No, it's not. He has to work out for that. We might let him do that, but he also wants to have a conversation because he's lonely. Wait, this Christy is in the way. Did she draw the bath? She did not. Okay, let's do that. Let her have a bath and then they are going on their hiking trip. And Kennedy can just pee behind the container out back. There we go. Yeah, she can take a bath, which is probably a good time for Brandy to take a short nap if she finishes cooking before Christy finishes her bath. So let's see how Brandon is doing. He can probably do the second one after that. Who is screaming? Oh, it's John. Why is he screaming? I mean, I know why he's screaming, but I don't know why he's not studying his geodes. Did he finish his painting? No, he did not. Is it because he's probably hungry? Let's see if he wants to. No, you can reach it. We know you can. Okay, so with all of the construction work that Comey and Brandon have been doing, I wanted to, like, when I initially built this lot, there were doors in here and I just deleted them. We have some crafting points, so I think now would be a good time and would be a logical time that Comey and Brandon would have actually fixed this. So we are going to put in a door. This is going to take up a lot of our crafting points, but I think that's fine. We need them for a few more knife blocks, but after that, Comey is going to be exhausted anyway. So we are going to send him to bed. Let's see how many he made. He made 16, and his skills 2.29 mechanical. He needs 3 for his promotion. But he also needs 3 creativity, and that's a long way from here. So, yeah. I'm going to send him to bed after this. Yeah, so now that there's a door right there, John can continue his drawing. But it started raining. Somehow that's always good news, because it means that there's going to be extra water. It may take a short while, but there will be extra water in here. So it's not the perfect timing to go out on a hike when it's raining, but we're going to send them out anyway. So once Christy is done, we are going to send them. Let's see, what's Kennedy doing? He's going to the mirror to gussy up, probably. We don't want him to do that. We want him to... yeah, he can collect a few more branches and then cut down the trees. We can never have enough branches for the fires. Why is Comey waking up? Oh, he needs to use the chamber pot. We're going to send him to bed. It's not the highest priority to let him clean himself. Oh, John is finishing one of Brandy's meals. Well, let's see if he manages to do that. He can feed the others. Sandy can take a nap until we come back from our trip to Eli. Yeah, so let's send Christiana. She is already going to collect the ashes from the fire. She can do that when she comes back. And we can have like a quick win for... Thunder. Let's see. Yeah, so she did a little bit of bird watching because she had one for it. Let's send her on a hike with Brandy. There we go. Oh my god, and John obviously set the stove on fire. He should not be cooking. He should not be cooking. Why did I let him do that? Kennedy, save the day, please. It is raining and they have like this fire extinguisher right here. We could say that it still works and that they can use it for a certain amount of times. So yeah, Kennedy is having a meltdown again. Oh, poor guy. Because he's so afraid of fire. You know what? Go and talk to John after you've done your meltdown thingy. We're going to send Christy and Brandy on that hike again. And hopefully John can comfort Kennedy a little bit. Oh, John is also not feeling too good about the fire. Honestly, it's not that bad and it could have been much worse. Most of the Sims only have like 2 or 3 bad memories and only a few of them are in the red. So Sandy has been lucky. She, for some reason, missed all of the negative events. Melissa, of course, got electrocuted or got shocked by something. We could just say that she hurt herself on the dishwasher. Could have been something sharp or something like that too. Marilena also doesn't have any negative memories. Comey fainted or passed out 2 times, but is still in the green. Kennedy has witnessed 2 fires and is deeply in the red and is deeply concerned. I eliminated the social bunny because I really can't stand it, I'm sorry. I did not eliminate the therapist yet. John, yeah, he passed out once and then he set the soup on fire and he burned it. So we are going to let him clean it up and work on his skills, and hopefully that is going to get him right back up in the green again. We don't want our leader to have a mental breakdown. That's not what we need right now. Let's see, we've got Goopy, who has by far the most negative memories, and yeah, you've seen it in previous episodes. We didn't really take good care of Goopy. He passed out so many times. He got stuck in the fence once and I didn't notice that for hours. I forgot that he was working and I forgot to check his needs, and he passed out several times without me noticing. So yeah, but we've actually done a little bit better with him lately. So Christy witnessed 2 fires, but she's not too bothered about it. Brenda has beat herself when she got struck by lightning. And yeah, that is going to be probably the only thing that happened to her, because she is off lot a lot of the times. And she is going to get a job too. Then Brandon somehow is like whistling through everything. I remember the last fire, he was behind the drawing table and he never even noticed that something went on. Right now he's standing outside, but for some reason he didn't notice the fire. So he's like the most careless survivor that we can have. He's completely in the green, doing well, and he's close to becoming friends with Comey, I think. Yeah, he is. And then Brandy only witnessed 1 fire. Oh, I should learn to make omelets. Cool. I forgot that gives a memory. So yeah, the fire. And I will make a note that I am never going to let any of the other survivors cook again, unless they have cooking skill points. It's just way too dangerous. Abhijit also witnessed 1 fire, but that was the other one and not this one. So it's really not that bad. The morale of the entire community is pretty much still acceptable, I think. So yeah, let's continue with Brandy and Christy going on their hike, and we'll get back to the chores of the others after that. So we know from Brandy's talk with John around the campfire that she really wanted to visit and meet Eli to bring him food mostly because she's worried about him being all on his own out here, and yeah, she just wanted to bring him something and get to know him. So let's see how this is going to go, because we also know that we cannot trade items with him until we are friends, and the relationship of Christy and Eli has really dropped down to the minimum. Eli does remember Christy and he does remember John, but it's really for him it's been a while. So let's see how this goes. And the way I want to approach these meetings with Eli is sort of like a short mini game. As long as they have a short-term relationship of 20 or lower, they can only use the chat option. With every negative outcome, we roll the dice to see what Eli is going to do. And as you can see, that is exactly what happened on the first try. Christy made Eli cry. So she talked about something, it had a negative effect. Eli just stood up and started crying. Now, once we get above 20, we can also joke, talk about hobbies, and admire him. And once we become friends with Eli, the sim who is friends with him can give him a useful item, like food, and grab something from the gas station in return, so we can trade items with him. Since Brandy is the one that wanted to meet him today, and we are hoping that she is going to become friends with Eli, I let her take over and console him. After which she started chatting with him and quickly built the first points of their relationships, so I could start making jokes. So if there is going to be a negative interaction again, I pause the game, roll a dice, and see what Eli is going to do, and then make him do that. There are 12 behaviors on Eli's list, including running away, going to sleep in his bed, starting an argument, and giving them a spontaneous but probably unwanted hug. Especially the running away or running home actions can be pretty annoying when we're on the scavenging lots later on and we need him to let us use his tow truck. So if he runs away, we'll have to go after him and find him, because we cannot just leave him in the woods all on his own. Anyway, these weird behaviors give us plenty of options to make these scavenging trips feel like a real quest with unexpected twists and turns and stuff. But back to Brandy. Luckily, there has not been any negative interaction after that first one, and they actually had a pretty good talk and built their relationship really quickly. So we don't want to be on this lot for more than 2 hours, that is the limit. So they arrived here at 2 p.m. and they have to leave at 4 p.m. because they're just on a short hike. And that is also what makes this sort of a mini game. So first, we only have these limited social options available to us, and second, we only have 2 hours every time that we visit Eli like this. We could technically try this as often as we want, as long as they arrive here on a hiking trip and the Sims actually leave their home lot for the duration of that hiking trip. So every time we do this, it does actually cost them some time to come here. Now for this first try, the second it turned 4 p.m, they became friends. I didn't plan this, I didn't fiddle with it, it was really what, the second it turned 4 p.m. they became friends. And since I had filmed all of this and we were so close to the deadline with only 2 minutes over it, I decided to grant us that trade. So Brandy gave Eli one of her bowls of soup. Eli seemed a bit hesitant to take it, poor guy probably hasn't seen fresh food in ages, but in the end he did take it. So we hugged him goodbye. And then I went into the kitchen to quickly grab that cooking pot that I've been wanting for the settlement, because both Christy, Brandy, and any future scavengers that might join us can put this to good use, making preserved jars and building up their cooking skills. We put the cooking pot in Brandy's inventory where we can take it home with us, and then the girls prepare to walk back to the settlement where we will meet them again after their hike. But first, we are going to jump to the quarry and see how our survivors did there this morning. We haven't seen that footage yet because we of course stayed home with the others in the settlement in the previous episode. So here we are at the quarry for our second visit. Let's see how we want to do this. So both Abhijit and I think Melissa, I want to send them into these mines like right away. Let's see, do we want him to... I think I want Abhijit to mine for coal. He's going to smelt things later. And Melissa is going to mine for, I think, copper for now. So let's do that. We are obviously also going to set up camp just like we did in the previous times. Abhijit has a lot of scrap on him, but they are not scavenging right now, so we don't really have to look at that. Let's see, I placed the sleeping bags around here, I think, last time, and one here. And the chamber pot can go right around there. We also need sand, so I think Goopy is going to start by digging for sand, because we are going to need glass panes if we want to have windows in our houses. So we need glass, and that leaves us with Brenda, who can mine for iron because she's the only one. I think Goopy might have the right body skill too. Yeah, he does. So Goopy and Brenda are the only ones that can actually mine for iron. We're going to do that 4 times, and after that she's probably going to need a little nap. Yeah, so let's get started. So Abhijit went into this mine and Melissa is going into that mine, and they are going to stay there for 8 hours. Okay, so let's place it here, and he can give himself a sponge bath. Let's see how much sand he got. 16 buckets. I think we'll go for 20. And then we're going to let him mine for iron too. He's taking his time. There we go. All cleaned up and dressed, which is nice for a change because he's been running around in his pajamas for days now. Brenda is going strong. I think she should take her nap a little bit sooner. She's got 3 buckets of iron. I think 4 in the last run. So let's see, 7 buckets of iron. That's nice. We are going to need much more. Ooh, we are running a bit late, so they are probably going to return around 8 in the evening. We might actually have to leave when it's dark for our scavenging run, which you would have seen in a previous episode, so you already know how that went. There. She's ready to go and take her nap now. Yeah, she is exhausted. After that we are going to wake her up so you can use this, get some water, and wash herself too. In the meantime, I think Goopy can just keep going. You can do one more. Let's see how many he got. He's got 4 iron, 20 sand, 4 iron, and a gold nugget. That's nice. So yeah, he can also take a nap after this. Okay, cool. So Goopy's found a fossil rock and Melissa's actually gained a body skill from mining. That's good. So yeah, I guess we'll just skip to the part where we're going to wake them up again. I noticed that Goopy still has this green smell around him, even though he did wash himself. So he might need a second cleaning to be really, really clean. Let's see, we cannot see how much Melissa and Abhijit have found in the mines until they come out. So we'll have to wait a little bit longer for that. Let's see, we've also got a clay digging spot at home, so we really don't need clay right now. We are going to just let her mine for iron until the others come out of the mines. Oh, there they are. 6 p.m. actually. So they are not that late. Let's see. Is he out here already? 18 buckets of coal. Yeah, he already had 9 buckets, so he has 27 buckets of coal now. That's good. Let's see. Melissa. I didn't really see what she brought home. 18 buckets of copper ore. Nice. And a fossil. Oh, a geode. Cool. Yeah, I think that's enough for today. This was just a short visit, and that's more than enough. So Abhijit is going to walk home, take the others, and we'll see them at the settlement. Meanwhile, back at the settlement. Oh, and here comes the mining crew. They are all back. They have just returned from their trip to the quarry, so let's go and check on them. Yeah, so I think we are going to send Abhijit and Melissa to bed because they are so tired. Kennedy is inside talking to John. Let's see, Brenda and Goopy. Oh right, Goopy was going to stock the stone in the stonemason workbenches. And after that, Brenda can have a conversation with him and tell him some jokes. And the scavenging crew is going to leave when Christy and Brandy are going to return. They are tired, but they are going to take the coffee with them. I think, let's see, Kennedy is inside. The coffee should be done by now. Yeah, collect the batch of coffee before they go. And John can just take some time to clean up this mess that they have made. Yeah, and after that I think he can just use the bath. He still hasn't eaten, but they might do that all together for the ones that stay home. So we can just let him pull some weeds and clean this up. Yeah. Oh, he is definitely going to clean up this area so we can finish the garden. So Kennedy keeps going to the mirror. Let's send him here. Yeah, and Christy has returned. Brandy has returned. So it's time to send them on their first scavenging trip, which I think is really exciting. You've already seen how that went because that was what happened in the last episode. We are going to send them there and we are going to come back after it and continue with the survivors that stayed home today, because that part you have not seen yet. And yeah, I'm really excited about this part too, because we are finally going to do some redecorating and make like a vegetable garden right here. We are going to make a pantry area right here. And yeah, so we'll continue after we've sent the scavenging crew on their first scavenging trip. So after the others are gone, we are left here with John, who is trying to eat the soup that he just burnt. And Christy is getting ready to use the bathtub for the first time. So since she prepared it, she might as well be the first one to use it. And the others are all asleep and having nightmares because they are all tired and either hungry or really dirty. So we are They're taking daytime naps, so we are going to wake them up, clean them up a bit, and let them continue in doing their work. So John is going to be outside. After that, he can just use the bathtub and clean himself too. And he can pick up some laundry on the way. And Christy is done. And we are going to wake up Kome so he can continue cutting some planks. And we probably also want to wake up Melissa because the garden is not looking too good. So we are going to let her help out tending the garden and spraying the garden. And I think we actually need some extra help. So we are also going to wake up Brandon and let him work on this side. Brandon is not waking up. Poor guy is having nightmares. I wonder if it's the laundry that's in the way. Oh, he is getting up. Okay, good. And after John is done with his bath, he can continue the drawing. Oh, that was actually the third bath because, of course, Christy already used it twice. Okay, so now that Abhijit is awake, he can use the bathroom. He can... and we will need Christy to empty the tub, clean it, and then fill it back up again. Good, John has finished his drawing. That was really fast. We are going to move all the drawings because it's starting to look a bit chaotic. And here we can see the drawing that John made of his dream house. So we've got a big vegetable garden for Brandy to work in. We've got their house with a work area and a living area and a sort of majestic looking entrance, I guess. And lots of greenery and trees and some extra corn and vegetables around the sides. So this is his dream. This is what he sees when he thinks of Brandy and their life together. Now I do think I've made a mistake by giving Brandy all of their soup. So this is the entire food supply that they have. So Christy is now preparing mash. I think maybe she should eat a little bit of that burnt soup after she's done with preparing the bath again. But yeah, after that I think she should try and make her version of Grandma's comfort soup. So yeah, this garden really takes some effort. And some pitching in from all of them sometimes. Although it really is supposed to be meant that the scavengers usually take care of the garden. Speaking of scavengers, Christy is cleaning the bath and she should really have enough water buckets to fill it up again. So let's see if she does. And she does. So we now have another bath prepared. So we are going to let her clean up and then serve dinner. She could also probably brew another batch of coffee. And yeah, Abhijit is ready to take his bath now. Oh no, not empty tub. Take a bath. And Melissa, we'll just let her have a conversation with Brandon. Oh, he was already doing that. Good. And after that, she can probably pick some berries outside, so she at least has something to eat. Or we are going to wait for Christy to finish cooking, because that might actually succeed. She might actually make an edible comfort soup. Let's let these two do whatever they want for a bit. Oh, and John just autonomously harvested the coffee cherries. So we now have some coffee to dry. That is awesome. I don't want him to go to bed yet. Let's see. Yeah, she made a bowl of soup, so he can actually grab a plate. And they can all probably grab a plate and have dinner together. And then they can all go to bed, probably at a reasonable hour for once. So let's do that. Yeah, so let's see. Abhijit is pretty much done, so he can go to bed. I think Brandon can get his bath and then also go to bed. Christy is brewing the coffee, and she should really put the leftovers away and, let's see, collect the ashes and light the fire again before they go to sleep, so she can clean up a bit and then also go to bed. And John has also gone to bed. Kome is in bed, but he should probably really use the bath. He can do that in the morning. He'll probably get nightmares, but he can do that in the morning. And Melissa is stealing firewood, so we don't want her to do that. I'm going to let her harvest some blueberries and have a snack before she goes to bed. So the coffee is brewing. Wait, she can collect that. That was really fast. She can collect it before she goes to bed. Yeah, good. She is now eating the berries standing up. Well, it doesn't really matter. Let's see, it's almost midnight. They're all in bed at night at the same time, for the first time, I think. And there is something really satisfying about that. I like it. So we are going to let Melissa finish her berries. After that, she is going to go to the bathroom, clean herself, and also go to bed. But not before she has sprayed the garden plants, because we don't want them to die. There. So we are going to send her to bed and continue in the morning when they all wake up. It's now 4 a.m. Everybody is waking up and getting ready to get back to work. John is definitely going to take some time today to clean up the mess outside once he has figured out what he wants to do with the space. And Brandon is going to make a drawing of the house that he and Kome are building. And in the meantime, thunder is rumbling. And in the meantime, Kome is going to make as many knife blocks as he can, because he needs to work on his mechanical skill. And once he's done that, he can clean up and freshen up a bit. And all these items are the things that Kome crafted yesterday, and Abhijit was picking them up in the shed, in the storage. And he is going to start out here and getting started on the items that we need for the pantry. So yeah, the garden has clearly been watered too many times by the thunderstorm. I honestly don't know if this is going to give us any vegetables this season. It would be a shame if it didn't, but yeah, that's one of the risks, I guess. And Melissa is now out back and using the grinder for the first time. And this is going to give us the last ingredient that we need to make the soap. So when Sandy comes home tonight, we can actually make soap. We should also take care of this pile of trash before it's going to give us any trouble. And it's morning. Oh, good. And Brandon, he got his creativity skill points. Okay, so Christy is almost done with the garden. When she is done with that, she can fill the tub because she just took the water out of the rain catchers. And I think, what is John doing? He's talking to Abhijit. Yeah, sure, you can play rock, paper, scissors. Well, you could talk about your hobby, arts and crafts maybe. And I think Melissa is out here. Yeah, she just took the oil. So we're going to stock this cauldron with the slag lime and the fat agents. And I think that's actually the last thing that Melissa can do with that grinder, because it's now empty. And she cannot use this one because she doesn't have the creativity skill. So I'm going to let her take a nap, because we might need her later. Komei has found the bathroom, so we're going to let him use that. Did he just... Oh, he is going to work. I almost forgot they have a job now. So let's see, Brandon. Yeah, he could finish his drawing, I think. And Komei is just going to go to work. He probably... Yeah, he did finish it. Good. So now the drafting table is empty again, and we can call back in John to make a custom drawing of what he wants to do with the garden. So we'll see in a few hours what he has come up with. Oh, we can place the last bed that Abhijit has crafted. I keep forgetting about that. He has a bed in his inventory. He's been walking around with that for a few hours, I think. Let's see, should we place it? Let's see if this will make them get in a traffic jam around the door. Let's see, someone finished taking a bath. That was Christy. So she's now all done. She's going to clean up a bit, check the food supplies, prepare some mash, and maybe even prepare some breakfast. We could go for a quick win and let her do some bird watching, because we do want to keep a closer eye on their needs. And after that, she should really start throwing pottery again. Let's see, she can make some plates and she can stock the raw pottery into the kiln. So we are going to actually bake the pottery that she has in her inventory. She has 32 plates right now. Yeah, she should probably just throw these in before she starts making new ones. Oh, and John has gained his creativity skill. Cool. Now we're getting somewhere. He now wants to become an architect. No, John, you're not going to become an architect. Let's see, 486 food points. So we still have a lot of ingredients in here. I think we're going to wait for Brandy to really use all of these stocked items, but I think Christy can make one meal of comfort soup after she's done with the other chores. Let's see, what is Abhijit is now... What is he doing? I think Melissa tried to flirt with him and failed. Okay, we're just going to let her be for a minute. We do need Abhijit to get started on this area. So, and we are going to call John in a minute when he finishes his drawing. He is also going to... Well, he should really first take a bath and then come outside. But in the meantime, Abhijit can definitely start cleaning up, and he did that by himself, which is great. So let's see if there are items that he can actually throw out, because there are actual trash items in here. I don't think he can reach them, but we can check. He's going to walk all around and straight through the car. No, he cannot reach it. Oh, he can reach a few. Good. There's a wet laundry pile in here. Yeah, before we really start this, let's go back to Christy and let her get started on that pottery. Yeah, this may take a while. We're going to remove the door so we can see what she's doing. And let's send Melissa back to bed. She can take a nap. Someone should have the firewood. I think, yeah, Abhijit does have some more firewood. So he is going to stock this with some wood. And then we can fire up this thing. For the first time, I think. Do we have iron to smelt? we do actually have some iron to smelt. I forgot about that. Okay, cool. So can we now... Yeah, we can fire tablewares, plates. So we're going to actually bake our first pottery. And somehow this switched color. Cool. So that is now going. It will take a few hours before it's ready. The ingots are ready, so that's really fast. And John just finished his bath, so it is time to go and check on the garden. So this is the drawing that John made. You'll probably have to use your imagination for that, but this is the ring catcher. This is where the building ends. This is the coffee field and the trees that we have around it. And this is where the huge pile of trash now is. So we are going to extend this area and create a garden. But before we can do that, we have to clean up the mess that is now laying here. So we are going to get started on that new project. So let's see, we have some trash items. And I do want to add the bigger items into Abhijit's inventory, just for future uses. But we are going to delete these piles of trash. And now we can finally see what is underneath here. It's mainly a lot of wood that they can use in this build, because we actually need to put a fence around it, and a fence obviously costs money, so it costs crafting points. Let's see, this is trash. These are all laundry items that John can clean up. This is also laundry. And I think, oh, that's the grain field. I think, yeah, it's going to be really weird to get rid of this car, but we are going to move this into Abhijit's inventory, and he is going to craft something of that later. This is in part going to be used in the flower workstation, so that's what we're going to do with that. Let's see, these piles of trash. This is not actual trash, but I think these are. So we should really let the survivors clean that up. But this we can just sell. And there's more laundry for John. So yeah, let's send them to work. Okay, so John is telling me he needs a break, and luckily Christy has just finished the bowl of soup. So I think this would be a good time to take a small break and for them to all have lunch together. I wanted to let them sit here, so let's have her collect the ashes, light the fire, and she can grab a plate. The others are probably... Oh, and this is perfect timing because the builders just came home from their workday. Actually, Kome isn't hungry, so we're going to let him take a bath if there's still water in there. There is. Good, he's lucky for once. He hasn't taken too many baths since he arrived here. And let's see, Brandon can just pee here and grab a bowl of soup. And we're going to wake up Melissa so she can also grab something to eat. So yeah, after this, Christy's going back to her pottery, and Brandon is going to make a second drawing. I think Abhijit is still cleaning up, but he's going to take his break soon. Kome just finished his bath, so we're going to let him get back on making knife blocks, even though that is going to cost us some of our funds, but yeah, we're gonna let him do that for a bit. And let's see, John should really come back here and continue cleaning this up. Throw this laundry back here so John can grab that. We have vegetables! Oh my god! We made it! Let's see, Christy is working on her pottery. The only one that's really not doing anything is Melissa, so we can let her harvest many. I'm so happy about that. What's John doing? Oh, he was trying to pull the weeds back here. Well, you don't really need to do that. Finally, I really didn't think that this was going to happen. There might not be many food points in there, but at least we have some vegetables right now. And it's also perfect timing that it happened on the day that we are going to make the rest of the garden. I didn't really plan that. So yeah, I really feel like everything is happening all at once. But let's get to the garden. So we are going to put this all in Abhijit's inventory. Everything that is the wooden components, these items, this item. So everything that is made of wood is going, and these few bricks are going to be used in the garden, because we're going to have like a little brick path leading there. So we will need all these bricks. We will need these wooden items, and we will need all of the wooden items in here. We are also going to use, let's see where it is, this bonfire, which is also, let me show you, this is also just a stack of wooden crates and stuff, so we're going to use these. And another thing, we are going to delete these because it is time, and they can definitely use these wooden items in the fencing around the garden. So there are quite a few of these. We are going to delete them all and open up the windows and use all of that wood in the garden. Yeah, we're going to use this too. So that leaves us with only a few more items. And I think this is just one thing. Yeah, it is. We might want to throw that back here for now. We can put this in Abhijit's inventory. And we actually need the area around the trees. So the trees were supposed to be cut down by now. We could use them if they will get in the way. So let's see. So let's make this into something pretty and functional. Yeah, this is definitely starting to look more like it. I'm really satisfied with how this came out. I think this is exactly what they needed. It won't be long now until Brandy comes home with the rest of the plants that she has in her inventory. Of course, she isn't here yet, so we cannot plant the rest of the plants until she comes home, but we'll just wait for that to happen. And then we'll finish the last part of this garden. And yeah, until that time, we are just going to harvest the vegetables, saw some more planks with Kome, who is now standing inside of this shed again. Abhijit is going to smelt some items and smelt some copper, I think. Yeah, and then just admire the garden for a while. After she is done, she should definitely use this and empty it up, clean it, and take a nap, because we are going to need her tonight. Oh, the others have come home. Good. So we can finish the last part of the garden, and then we have one more project to go, which is the pantry. But before I forget, there was one more thing that I wanted to do with the garden, because Abhijit has a few more items that I wanted to use. I think this would look kind of cool to kind of scatter these around. Maybe one here, one back there. Yeah, we had 5 of them. I think in the future it would be really cool if they had something like this, like outside, to, if the town starts growing, they can come here for seeds and stuff. So it would be nice for them to like be able to sell this, I think. So we had exactly or almost exactly enough points for this. So I'm going to grab this, put it in Abhijit's inventory, and he can craft it whenever he is going to spend some extra time and build another table. Plus we don't need it now because we don't have any villagers. It's just us, it's just these survivors. But yeah, I think that would be really cool to have that in the future. Now we are almost getting to the pantry part. I just want the kitchen to be empty, so we have all the space that we need. So we are going to let the survivors do their thing until they make way for us. Plus Abhijit and Kome are still crafting the cabinets, which will take them roughly an in-game hour. So we are going to enjoy a view of the survivors doing their thing now that everyone is home. And we'll continue after this clip. So I started out by using the rest of the wooden components and 2 of the cut logs, and at the last minute I decided to switch out these planters for these new ones, because they are so pretty and they match the planters on the side much better. So you can see me do that here. And of course I had to also change the planters in the back, and I decided to put some regular soil in there with some nooks and niches, corners and fencing. I then went into Brandy's inventory, who has been keeping all of the plants and herbs and stuff that we have found while scavenging so far, and started planting these in the new garden. I tried not to look at their function too much, but I mainly wanted the colorful flowery looking things and stuff that looked like weeds on the outside, and the vegetables in the larger planters on the inside. And I kept one corner of the garden mostly reserved for herbs that are often used in cooking. I was surprised that everything actually seemed to fit in here, and we even have a few spots open. It seemed like we had found much more than this, but I guess it just looks different when it's in its right place. So this is the final result of the new garden, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I also took this opportunity to fix the roof, because it had been bothering me that there was a column on the corner not supporting anything. So Abhijit and Kome have been crafting for a while now, and they have all these items in their inventory that we are going to use. I realized that they have so many items that we can actually do something extra. So you will see that at the end of the video. But I see that Brandy and the others are out of the kitchen now, so let's get to work. Although I have to admit it's tempting to just stay and watch these survivors going about their business. But let's not, we've got work to do. Honestly, at first I was a little hesitant to get rid of that old car and stuff. It's honestly weird how much I've gotten attached to those trash piles, even when they were always meant to be temporary until we had the resources to start decorating. But seeing how this turned out, I'm really excited to start this new chapter of their lives here. They have a garden now, they can craft more items, the beginnings of a self-sustaining community are becoming visible. And I so love that. There is something just so satisfying about seeing everything come together. From all the items that we collected, to all the work that the survivors have been doing, all the resources that they gathered, all the work that they did to craft all these items. Looking at Brandy and Christy together in this kitchen with their new pantry just makes me so happy, because previously there were only notes on paper stating that these scavengers would be in charge of the food supply. I let Kennedy cool down in the new garden after his long workout this afternoon, and then when night fell and it was time for their dinner, he got his dinner, but he then walked back out here and ate his food alone by himself, which is in my eyes so fitting for his character, so that really made me laugh. And what the others are talking about during dinner and the rest of the evening around the campfire is something we can only guess about now, but we will certainly hear all about it in the next episode. And at the beginning of this video, I hinted at a new romance. But because this episode was already longer than planned, this is going to move to the next episode, so I hope you can forgive me for that. Also, I will leave a link to the planters in the description if you would want to get them for yourself. They're by an amazing creator called Vicky Sims, and there's many more high quality CC on their Tumblr. Between downloading the planters and editing this video, there's already new items on there, so it's a very active Tumblr. And also worth mentioning is that Lamar has a new gardening mod out, which I cannot wait to try out because everything Lamar makes is just gold. Lastly, both the Sims and I could not have done this without the help of lots and lots of real and virtual coffee, hence the title of this episode. And as always, I want to thank you for spending time with me, following these survivors in this new chapter of their lives and on their way to rebuild a self-sustaining community of, hopefully, successful families. I hope you have a good week and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!